And we're live. Hello, everybody, and happy Independence Day. Welcome to the CM Kozeman live stream with the green lights lighting up all over the place. I already see 11 of you are in chat. Elma says, Independence Day, let's go. Gunkerland says, my copy of All Tomorrows has shipped. Yes, the books are shipping and they are becoming a reality, and I'm very happy for that. I'm knocking on wood, literally, because I mean people needed to see something concrete happening because it already failed once. I can understand how people were maybe apprehensive about it. But yeah, I hope you can hear me all right. All right. Robotipi, my good friend, says Happy Independence Day, everyone. Humor Me says serve us. Okay. Maybe a Warhammer reference. I don't know. Cauliflower says hello. Peter says hello. Kuro Minami says hello. Today I was in the bookshop and somebody recognized me from, they said, the live streams. So, like, among you I have met in real life. Cansu İmamoğlu says hello. El Turco says hello. Charlie Calliope says hello. King. And Cauliflower was drawing All Tomorrow's fan art. Jester Fester had to pay 30 euros for customs. Still waiting for my book, says Melatonin Dragon Cookie. They will come, believe me. And if you're in the United States, wait until the 16th of December, because then it's really going to start shipping like from the US, and you're going to have like more books and less customs duties. I had a haircut. It's a cold night. So yeah. Aqua Jim says, I love your work. It's inspired a lot of projects at school and in general. Cauliflower says, nice haircut. Thank you. I was just reading the really nice vintage Bloomsbury Encyclopedia of Dinosaurs. In the United States, this book was also known as the Dinosaur Data book. But this is a British book directed by a lady named Jane Robinson. And yeah, and it's got all the best art in it. A lot of lineages. I'm going to show it to you this way. A lot of lineages, like family by family, and this is like early 1990s dinosaur knowledge. So everything is all over the place, but the artwork is really, really good, like supremely good. You got Dryosaurids, Tesselosaurids. Almost every group gets its own. Almost every genus gets its own family. Hadrosaurs, Camptosaurs, like diagrams about integument, defense. So this is a great book. It's got some weird odds and sods too, like I think. Wait. Huyangosaurus is listed as an early stegosaur, and you're gonna love it when you see it. There's some really freaky stuff here. It's got the retro Spinosaurus, but that's the least weird thing. You know, it's listed next to Baryonyx. Then where is it? Okay, here. Therizinosaurus is illustrated as a gigantic claw killer Jurassic World type of pterosaur. So this is the one of the nicest things about the book. And the reason I wanted to show you this was, well, I wanted you to have something to look at while I go grab the coffee and the cookies and we start the night stream. And yeah, call everyone you know. And if you're watching on the replay, don't forget to donate on Patreon or buy me a coffee or get all tomorrow's. The descriptions are all in the links. And then I'll get some coffee and we'll properly get this show on the road, okay? All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Well, good night, everybody. How are you doing? All right, people are still talking about their all tomorrow's shipments. Hello, hello, hello. Cosmos Hussein says hello. Well, I got the goodies here. I have the Tim Burton cookies, which are known as tutku in Turkey. I got the coffee. Got some fruits. I need coffee and sugar in my brain and chocolate in my brain to get the ball rolling at nights. A fine breakfast, says Gnome's Child. My book got delivered last Friday, says Henry. Thank you. Hello, says Absent Fish. Lessinty1 says, what's your favorite animal? And bon appetit. I like all animals, but I think if I had to choose, I would say lizards, maybe geckos, or like there's a lot of geckos. No, I know this guy. Mm. So there are two kinds of leaf-tailed geckos. Okay, one kind lives in Madagascar and it's called the Uroplatus. It's a very fantastic genus, like really beautiful animal. A set of really beautiful animals, to be honest, to be fair. And they look like this. Now, in Australia, there's another group of geckos. If you're in Turkey, you might know these as Süleymancık, which means little Solomon for some reason. But in Australia, they have another group of leaf-tailed geckos, which are very, very strange. I mean, I'm just opening a picture here. Blah, blah, blah. Where is the picture? Okay. They are not as fancy as the Madagascar species, but they have their own really weird and unique look, which I think I like better than the Madagascar leaf-tailed geckos. They're like, this is one picture, for example, of the Australian. Oh, no, you couldn't see. Well, oh, sorry, I'm really sorry. Can you see the gecko now? Okay, so this is the Australian variety. I think the server was blocking us from seeing the other picture, which was actually this. So now you see it better, I think. Anyways, these are leaf-tailed geckos. On some websites block screen sharing, but of course I take a screenshot and then put it in a tab as an image file, and no one can beat that. Many Boy says, according to the title of your stream, your Independence Day is after World War I, when Kemal Atatürk liberated Turkey from the occupation of the Allies. No, actually, the Independence Day happens after the ceasefire and everything. It is the day when Atatürk in the National Assembly declared that Turkey will from henceforth be a republic and not an Ottoman. So the Ottoman Empire is over, and it's a threshold. And we also have a victory day for like the actual victory against the puppet Greek army and everything. But I think this Independence Day shows you like what does it's like the American Independence Day. It like it commemorates as a political event and not a physical event. I think Atatürk really stood out among well, historic figures in general, because he had the goal he had in mind was the creation of a new and sustainable system. And many great men, many great men gravitate towards power acquisition or wealth acquisition, or sometimes even prolonging the old system. But yeah, Atatürk had this thing. And then he had like a sweeping set of reforms, like he gave the vote to women. Granted, there weren't many parties to pick, but like really, it's a world of difference, I think. Charlie Calliope says, was Constantinople renamed after at this time? Actually, Constantinople was still the name of the city until 1928. So, like 5 years into the Turkish Republic. And I read about this in like history books and stuff. So one day they just stopped accepting mail addressed to Constantinople. And like in a few months, the renaming was official. First man to escape the Matrix, says Elma, probably referring to Kemal Atatürk. I don't know. But really, I mean, like, there are two opposing streams of thought when people are considering history, okay? One says history is ruled by like laws, not laws, but like large processes that people cannot single-handedly control. Another theory says great men make history. I think Atatürk is one of the few like figures that provide definitive evidence for the great man theory. I think like as one person, he really made a difference. And if you want to see the difference is between go to the former Yugoslav countries, okay? Montenegro, Macedonia, Serbia, Bosnia, Kosovo, if you're broad-minded. That is what division and defeat looks like. It could have been like a series of Balkanized states from the Danube River all the way to the border of Iran. But actually, Atatürk consolidated Turkey, and like I don't know, was a great deed. Certainly made like me possible. So I mean, I was educated, and I grew up in the final incarnation of the secular Turkish state between the 1980 and 2004. It was a thing of steel and beauty. And it was pregnant with its own problems, but it was, yeah, some good times. Dark Master says, Kraut and T made an interesting video series on the history of Turkey. I think I have, but I will go on record saying that this Kraut character, it's not something tangible, or it's not something even direct. He strikes me as a dislikable person. I don't know, maybe if I met him and spoke to him, it would change. He had this drama, this gay ass, and I'm using the word non-pejoratively. I'm using the word without belittling or insulting our LGBT viewers, but he had this gay ops thing where he like him and a bunch of people fabricated fake alliances and like try to influence some shit. This all happened like 6 and 5 years ago, so I don't know. Elchin Lechinti says, please don't splatter your mouth. Okay. You mean when I'm eating? Idiki says, octopus. Okay. Cauliflower says, lizards as a whole are so extremely diverse, and I absolutely love leaf-tailed geckos. Yes, yes, yes. Will you ever go to Turkey book fair? Says Master Spy. It all depends if the book will be exhibited in Turkish book fairs, because I am just an author. And if All Tomorrows comes out in Turkey in Turkish form, a Turkish publisher needs to pick it up. So, not mine to say. Jean Harris says, sorry, I'm really late. Some commentary on the crowd drama. What happened between the Turkey you lived in and the Turkey of today? That's not with the light bulb party, says Master Spy. I think, I don't know. I mean, I'll leave this unsaid, huh? I'm interested in keeping this channel going. And I'm interested in staying on the right. I hope I'm back. I hope I am back. Gone too soon. Okay, can you see me now? 21 people watching. Yeah, I think we're back. All right. How are you doing, everybody? How are things, and how is everything? Let's have a roll call, see where everybody's calling from, and nearly 40 people watching. Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Lechinti is trying to survive. Master Spy is studying from 11th grade exams. Okay. Matty from Missouri, USA. Josh K from Canada. Gnome's Child from upstate New York. El Turco from Turkey. Şüphilüluma, named after a Sumerian ruler, is from Sarıyer, which is a suburb of Istanbul. Henry Oldroyd is from the UK. Tuna Birgün says, happy holidays. Slotman Prophecies, I like this name. From Southern Florida, USA. Lechinti from Siverek. Kurominami visited Wadi Istanbul shopping mall with their partners today. I hear they have like this reptile vivarium place or an aquarium. Yeah. I hope you saw that place too. Red Rum is from Portugal. Emilia is from Istanbul, currently in Zurich. Wow, that's really fancy. Really, really fancy. Cosmos Hüseyin is from the Turkish city of Balıkesir, which just 2 days ago experienced an earthquake. And I hope you're okay. Cauliflowers from Nicomedia, one of the old capitals of the Roman Empire. Tuna Birgün is from Bomonti, which is the Şişli district. And yeah, well, what a nice, blessed community. Do you know there are 2 villages named Kösemen in in the Black Sea region. One of them is in Giresun. So I'm going to try to see. Oh, we can't even see. It's like a very rural village, but I'll show you this much. There's a Kösemen village in Giresun, which is like extraordinary because I have no family connection to the Black Sea. I have no idea why this place is here. But there's a village. No, not the country. There's a village named Israel, like literally named Israel, close to this region. They may have renamed it. It's the video is dark again. Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay, I'll just share the. I don't know. Today we have a. It's a great holiday, but today we got some Mercury retrograde, Mercury magic in the air. Some sites just don't work and the connection is iffy. But yeah, there is a Kösemen village in Turkey's Giresun province. If you're ever in the area, go pay it a visit. It's one of the places I want to visit. I have no idea where this name comes from. It is not related to my last name, which is different. I have no idea. Also, there's a village named Israel, which is like literally means Israel. But I think they renamed after the latest conflict in the Middle East. So it's this one. And now they call it Kovanpınar. And it's really close by. I'm just trying to. Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyway, since I cannot share anything, I'll just share you an image on the tab. So this is the other village in the Black Sea region. Lots of interesting coincidences. Tuna Birgün says, I think it's a clear sign you have to record another episode with Turkish streamer Mert and discuss this place. It's up to him. Dark Master says, sadly I have to go now, but I've been working on a massive iceberg of amphibians for this Halloween. What is your favorite amphibian group, both living or extinct? Well, it would have to be this guy. It's an Amphiuma. Amphiuma is a giant salamander with tiny legs. And they look really silly. And I think there are two species of them, Amphiuma means and Amphiuma tridactylum. Here's one. They live in Kansas, I think. Like, look at this silly guy. It's so cute. And these things apparently are vicious too. They bite and like they're difficult to deal with. It's a violent sausage. Yes, exactly. We could see your screen too. Well, I'm not Wash. I don't have anything to hide. Do you know about Ommatotriton? I think that's a kind of salamander, right? But yeah, here's how amphiumas look like. Another picture of these guys. Wait. Dark Master says there's actually 3 species of amphiuma. The one-toed one. Okay, I did not know about this. Our good friend Grunwalder is also here. But just look at these guys. I love them. They're my favorite amphibians. I like also the fact that the face is long, like a tiny crocodile almost. Voyager says, my boyfriend or girlfriend loves your books. How can we access your books in Turkey? And Dominic Doherty says, hello from Kansas, America. Okay, let's respond to Voyager first. If you're in Turkey, and I don't know why I'm doing this in English, but if you're in Turkey, I think there's like 12 really vocal and proud Turkish people in the chat, and the rest are internationals. So here I'll dish out advice to people in Turkey in English, but okay. If you are in Turkey, there's a bookshop named Minoa, which is a fancy high street kind of bookshop slash coffee place. They got branches in a couple of places, in Taksim and Beşiktaş, which are like centrally located districts of the city. Minoa. Okay, I'm gonna just show you guys a picture. So it's like this kind of place, okay? So they are going to bring, none of this is confirmed, but they're going to bring 10 or 20 copies of the book, and we may do a book signing event there. So I will announce it on my socials. So if you're in Turkey, you want to get the All Tomorrow's book, you need to ask the Minoa bookshop. Let me also, in case somebody's on the replay gang, here are the branches. Just take a screenshot or I don't know, look at the phone numbers and you can call them and ask. Actually, yeah, these are the branches. Actually, it would be very welcome if you could call them and ask if All Tomorrows have arrived, because I think it would expedite their delivery of the books. Fepasaurus says, what do you think about the Magna Pinna squid? It's this very SCP style squid, isn't it? I actually have a video about all cephalopods of the world. You should watch it elsewhere on this channel. I've got lots of stuff. Like I got videos about amphibian diversity, cephalopods, sea snakes. You should really watch them. So here is Magna Pinna. What a lovely beast. I saw an Ommato 3 times. Okay, let's look at these Ommato. So these are native to Turkey and the surrounding regions, and they're the cutest little salamanders. They have these famous crests. Here's what they look like. Grunwalder says, I saw a fire salamander as a kid. It touched my hand while I was playing in running water, and a freak frog continued to bug my mind. Okay. Master Spy says, was that squid the thing seen in the Mexican Gulf? No, no. In the Mexican Gulf, you got Humboldt squids, which are like giant and very voracious predators. Dominic Doherty says, there's something majestic about cephalopods and jellyfish. You feel like you're looking at a starship, don't you? 42 people watching. How nice. Lechin T says, Mr. Köseman, what do you think about the future of the world and humanity? I think the world is really like, be prepared for something really big to happen. Like a world war, but maybe even more serious. Because there's an economic deadlock in all the countries of the world. The American currency is like, the dollar is the world's fiat currency now, not gold. And that is backed by, well, the US military and the same 10 American companies shuffling like $1 trillion between them every now and then. I don't see how people are going to get out of this current economic deadlock without anything like a big war. And yeah, that is that. Hail from Costa Rica, says Boken Shah. Will there be a Spanish translation of your books? Well, there is Spanish translations of All Tomorrows online, but they're not the real book. They're fan PDFs. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think they're signing a deal for a Portuguese edition now. So a Spanish edition might follow. So yeah. Idiki says we have to prepare for Cold War II. Yeah, they're either going to have a like hot war, or they're going to have a Cold War, which will spur the defense industry, so that there'll be this like great narrative which will get people working again. But I don't know if that can even function in the 21st century, in the age of the internet. What happened in the last 25, 30 years is they offshored everything to China. Everything got made in China and shipped all over the world. Everybody felt middle class and got elevated for a while. And now that illusion is wearing off. They've accidentally turned China into the world's greatest industry. And it's no longer made in China shit anymore. I think like they're really taking things to a next level over there. But also, I don't think they can sensibly invade China anytime soon. It's also this time around, there's no Cold War of ideologies. So the enemies of the Western world aren't hobbled with something like communism anymore. So it's really, really, really risky. YouTube Joseph says, we are already in a new Cold War. Yes, yes, yes. Master Spy says, who will win, USA or China? USA still looks stronger. I don't think they can occupy China, but I think they can wrestle Taiwan back from them. I have no idea. Slightly harmful says, "Do you like bicycles?" Okay, so here's the deal. I have scoliosis, a mild form of it, but my neck is like this, if you noticed. It's slightly bent, and it can never be unbent. Because of this, when I'm riding a bike, I can look this way, but when I'm turning this way, my whole body tilts. So I still like I'm quite good on a bike, but the way I pilot the bike, there's a skew to certain directions, and I don't think it's safe. Although I did live and work in Italy for a number of years, and every day I took my bike to work, and it was nice there. But I don't think I would go biking anytime in a big city. Also, I think in big cities recently, there's a subculture of really entitled and insufferable people on bikes, and I'm not a big fan of those either. Joseph says, "What is the amphibian with tiny limbs you showed before?" It was an amphiuma. It's an amphiuma. AMPHUMA. Lechinti says, "Geçmiş olsun to my scoliosis," which in Turkish means may it be over. Geçeceği falan yok. Böyle doğmuşuz. I was born that way. So it's a terminal condition. So it can't be fixed. I mean, I think there can be surgery to take care of it, but I don't fucking want that. I really love my body. Square One Production says, "Have you heard of a DOS game called Ascendancy? It has strange alien species with weird lore." No, I haven't, unfortunately. Kuro Minami says, "I hope the scoliosis doesn't cause you pain." No, actually, it got me an exemption from military service, so it was a blessing in disguise, I think. I have scoliosis too. I started working out in hope to fix it, says Elma. A lot of young people have scoliosis. I don't know, maybe it comes from video games. I don't know. But I think if you work out, it will just be good for its own sake. What was your degree of scoliosis, says Master Spy? Wait, let me actually. So this is one of the most precious documents I'll ever have, okay? These are my military papers showing that I'm unfit for duty. It took me literally like I think 1 month of hospital visits to get this paper, more than 10 years ago. And they have all my conditions listed here. Idiopathic scoliosis and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. As a result, I'm not fit for military duty. Askerliğe elverişli değildir. And I think it says right side scoliosis. Blah blah blah. I don't know the degrees. So yeah, that's that. My scoliosis story. I also have I've done this on stream a lot of times before, but I have hyper flexible limbs. They can move like this. So yeah, it's one of the deep lore stories for you. God damn, says Shupiluluma. Minado says, I find plants and insects really fascinating. I have no idea where to start learning from them, about them. Well, okay, I'll tell you. Just let me put this back. Okay, so the Mr. Fantastic says baby boat fly. Okay. So insects and plants, it's difficult to understate. So sorry, it's difficult to overstate. It's crazy. Like there are things called galls, which basically are like these virus like structures, not exactly like viruses, but some insects attack plants in a certain way that makes them create these structures, okay? And these are called galls, that's Gall. And different insects cause different galls, and they also get to breed in them later on. Now, in certain cases, like figs, for example, we all like eating figs. Well, I hope you do. So the fig is actually not a fruit as you know it. It's a feeding and, well, fucking chamber created by and for these flies on the plant. You cannot have fig fruit without these special wasps, okay? They go into the fig and they enter the fig from this bit, the ostiole, all right? Now, inside the fig, there's this like bumpy place where all the flowers are. So this is insane. It's not a fruit, it's the flowers. The wasp lays eggs in some of the flowers, and then when he's like moving around, he pollinates them. Flower ovaries that contain wasp larvae form these galls inside them, and they actually act like wombs to raise the wasps. So they like help the wasps breed in them too, and the wasps help them pollinate. So it's a crazy, crazy life cycle. It's like straight out of, well, I don't know, Warhammer Tyranids. And the male wasp digs a tunnel for the other wasps to escape from. So when you eat a fig, basically you eat the like sex chamber. So that's crazy. And like if you've been like, if you're a farmer or a horticulturalist and you have figs, you have to have the wasps to make them grow. So I think the next big step in the evolution of life on Earth is actually going to be something along these lines. There are going to be, I think, plants which depend on insects for their dispersal in such a way that I think the insects are going to achieve some sort of genetic fusion with the plant. And so there will be trees that release these insect hordes, but the insects will be the seeds of the plant. Somehow they will actually carry the plant to new places. So I think that's going to be like a big deal. And so, yeah, you can just look at figs, and there's so many different varieties of these things. Also, there's this YouTube channel. I think it was called. Wait, I have to find it from YouTube. It is the Insect Spotlight Project, okay? I'm going to show you the picture now. It's run by this really, really cool guy. He only has 7,000 subscribers, so go subscribe to his channel. And this guy tells you all about all the different family groups of insects in a really accessible and fun way. And like, this is one of my breakfast bash videos, you know, like one of my breakfast bash video channels. So go watch this guy. Aren't insect populations declining in general? I think so, yes. I've heard things to that effect, but you know, nobody can be sure these days. Lachin says, my English sucks for these videos. Ah, come on. I think your English must be good enough. My dream involves the creation of an English-speaking, world literate group of smart people in Turkey who will just interact with the world and, you know, take things one step further. That's one of my dreams. Are you aware of the Travis McEnery channel? Okay, what's this? Oh, he's a spider guy. Subscribed. I love this. I love these kinds of niche channels. So here's the Travis McEnery channel. I think I'm going to watch this guy tomorrow morning for breakfast. Thank you. Hey, Sean Hannessy says, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Thanks, man. It's been a nice day. It's been the Republic Day, and there's a big celebration, and it's like Turkish Independence Days. He looks like wine sauce. You take that back. I think this guy is like 20 times cooler. Master Spy says, did you play Warhammer? No. I'm just interested in Warhammer lore because it's cool. I'm a big fan of the Tyrannid race too. And lots of hearts coming and stuff. Oh. Whew. It's been a tough day. Not tough, but tiring day. 38 people watching. That's nice. What do you think about space sharks? Says Master Spy. I think those are a Warhammer thing. Oh, let's see. They're like a sort of megalodon coded Space Marines, I think, huh? I don't know. I don't know much about like I don't know much about Warhammer and Deep Lore. I know and love some of the Tyranid things, but that's I have a very general knowledge of it, so nothing so deep. I bet these guys have their like own story and like allegiances, and I don't know. Okay, Master Spy is a Warhammer certified more Warhammer fan. Says that that's Tiberos the Red, the chapter master of the space sharks. Have you ever eaten an insect intentionally? Says Cauliflower. Yes, unfortunately. Leafhoppers, I've had like, they're sweet. Coelho says, has anyone on chat ordered and received the book? Actually, a few people have, but maybe you can comment and let JM Coelho know about things again. But here is my deal. You can order the book from Amazon or the Wilton Square website. But if you do order it on Amazon, absolutely make sure it has this ISBN. Because some people have accidentally ordered the defunct book, which is still on Amazon, and you can get your money back, but yeah, don't make this mistake. So this is the ISBN. Almost an hour. This has been a lazy day, but whatever. Yeah, and as a result, I never played Warhammer. I think people who really play it are on another level. There's all these like dice rolls and unit movements and everything. Okay, so apparently this guy was like physically the biggest space marine ever. Okay. This is my favorite Warhammer character. I'll just show you. There's like a sauropod insect with a gun on its back called the Tyrannid Dominatrix. And apparently these are like super smart too. They work like tacticians. And yet it has like a cannon growing from its back and these sights and the sting and the tongues and everything. It's just so over the top. I also like that it has 6 limbs and it's built like a sauropod. So like one of my favorite designs from that series. Master Spy says, I heard there are 2 Games Workshop stores in Istanbul. They may not be official Games Workshop stores, but there are like a few role playing, Magic the Gathering, like, quote unquote nerd stores here that cater to that audience. Yes. Elma Ulma says Synapse guys are cute. If these are Warhammer characters, I don't know much about them. Hmm. Slotman Prophecy says, let's make a speculative evolution tabletop RPG. I wouldn't know where to begin. That sort of games design, I'm not really well versed in. Samet In says hello. Have you seen the Agris helmet, says Botfly. What is that one? Casque d'Agris is a ceremonial Celtic helmet, a masterpiece of Celtic art. Let me just show you the picture. So, yeah. It's from the 4th century BC. That's incredible. The date is incredible for such a relic. There are apparently signs of Greek influence, says Wikipedia. Apparently, it was like a isolated helmet buried deliberately and strange. You really don't know much about the past, and all you have is like, I think the biggest loss is the loss of context. Because, like, was this a war booty, or was this like actually did they use it in a religious ritual, or did it just maybe belong to just a rich person? Who wore it? Like, which culture did it really come from? Like, it's bizarre, and a lot of times you don't have the context. Gnome's Child says, if we make a Specavo game, evolving units would be pretty cool, maybe in response to randomized environmental factors. You could have a game where you have different niches and then you have different clades. So the clades could be like insect, mollusk, vertebrate, amphibian, whatever, just very broad kinds of things. And the niches could be like seashore grazer, grass eater, macro predator, flyer, or something. So you could have like roll the dice and get like a flyer, which is also a mollusk. So it could work that way. At says hi. Actually, wait, I meant to show this to you. This happened months ago. I got an incredible gift. Wait. God, like, big thanks to whoever got me talking about the Spec Evo game. Because I'm so dumb. I should have shown this to you earlier. So there's this book called The Amateur Exonaturalist, okay? It's called The Amateur Exonaturalist. And it's actually a speculative evolution game by my friend Mate Ziner. So there is actually a Spec Evo desktop game. And the way this game operates is you keep rolling dice and like you name your planet and then you have these situations. So you're descending to the planet, okay? And like, so there are questions. Is the atmosphere breathable? And give me a number between 1 and 4. Is the atmosphere breathable? Give me a number between 1 and 4. Okay, Slotman says 3. The atmosphere is breathable, but it's uncomfortable. Okay, so we go down on the planet And what do we see? So give me a number between 1 and 20. A number between 1 and 20. 13. Okay, brother man says 13. So on the planet, we see a colossal tree-like structure with branches. And how do we travel the land? So give me a number between 1 and 10. 1 and 10. 6. Through naturally occurring space anomalies. So like with little details like that, you build everything, including the creature that you see. And yeah, I mean, so we can make a predator alien too. Let's keep playing it, okay? Okay, so we have an alien predator. How does this animal hunt? So give me a number between 1 and 20. 1 and 20, come on. 13, okay. So this is a predator, but it filters for tiny organisms. And how does this animal's prey defend itself? Give me a number between 1 and 10. Mermeret says, respect from Ankara. I respect what you're doing. Thank you. Okay, 4. The prey is covered in thick skin or armor. That's going to be a bit weird with the filter feeding, but okay. How does this predator attack its prey? Give me a number between 1 and 12. 1 and 12. 3, says Samet. It grinds or crushes them with great pressure. So, okay, so you get the idea. You get the idea. You can create a whole story like this. And like there's pages for how these aliens court, how they give birth, their evolution, reflection, adaptation, subspecies, and like, yeah, I love this book. And yeah, special thanks to Matek Siner, who gifted this to me. Thank you so much. So go find it. Practical guide for the amateur exonaturalist. I'm not much of a games guy, but if you are, you can get this. How do we get the book from Turkey? Okay, you have to go here. What was it called? There's a bookshop that lets you import books. So there's this Pandora bookshop, okay? Here it is. So these guys, if you give them the ISBN of the book, they will just import it for you. How much is the tax? Well, books are not taxed. Do you know that? Baby Boatfly says, would you ever start a Seed World project like Serena? If you would, what earth animal would you pick? Probably geckos or lizards or something. That's very similar to Squamozoic by Darren Naish. Apparently, the Amateur Exonaturalist is available as a video game too. Okay. I'm a bit tired, guys. So just. Speaking of seed worlds, there's this thing. I think many of you know. If you don't, you need to subscribe. Kappa, the world of turtles. This YouTube channel. So it's a turtle-based seed world project, but the animations are insanely beautiful. And the guy behind this is a genius. Yeah, if you go to, some people are asking about books, but if you go to Pandora Books, you can just give them the ISBN and they will import it for you. You can pay you will pay the asking price of the book and nothing extra. So there. Up here, I'm also trying to deal with my marker collection, which is here. So I got this big box of markers, and I really need to test them and see if they work and discard the broken ones. But as far as I know, they all work. But yeah, it's something I need to do tomorrow. But like once, I think 4 years ago, somebody just came up and said, I have some markers I don't use. Do you want them? I said, sure. And lo and behold, they brought in like half of this box came from that one person. And apparently they were just too happy using iPad or Procreate or whatever that shit is. And yeah, they never wanted to go back to their markers. And I was only too happy to take it off their hands. In fact, I like specifically asked them, I asked this person 3 times, like, are you sure you want to give this away? Are you sure you want to give this away? Are you sure you want to give this away? Because yeah, I didn't want no like seller's remorse afterwards. Didn't even sell it, just gave it away. It was crazy. But of course, I gave some free art too. So there. Rashid says very sorted compared to. Okay, for storing markers, here's the golden rule. Like, there are some markers here that are like over 10 years old. But if you store them horizontally, they won't. You won't have problems. You also need to have like a little cup or, well, something. So I have this film canister with holes in it, and this liquid has half alcohol, half water. So it keeps them humid and like alcoholic, so they don't dry out. And like literally, like some of these, I kid you not, like I mean this Copic marker, I wish there was a date on it I could show you, but I think that marker is like nearly 20 years old. And I think it still works. Master Spy says, do you use a laptop or a desktop? I'll use a laptop. Let's see the green Copic marker from 20 years ago. Ah, still works, man. Really nice. I also have some cologne here. And I always like moisten them with this, you know? Let's see if the thin end works. Even that one works. A bit dry, but that's okay. Give us some cologne too, says Samet'in. It's just tobacco cologne, tütün kolonyası. I'll deal with this tomorrow. Samet says, "Do you have Mac or PC?" I'm very lucky. I use a Mac. What do you think about Happy Tree Friends? Says Shisker. Okay, let's. Oh, isn't it this like stupid bloody thing? No, I fucking hate these things. I like deeply, deeply despise this sort of shit. Like, haha, so ironic, but it's bloody. Haha. I really hate these kinds of things. Like same shit with like super jail or something. It's just this stupid, boring millennial humor. Really, life is enough full of death, and you don't need ironic characters killing each other. I look at this shit. Why do they always die? What's even the point? This was, I think, this was a sign of like millennial humor, which is my generation, and I think some millennials are like the most boring, stupid people ever. It's just why? Haha, it's bloody. What's even the point? This gives YouTube kid vibes, definitely. I remember this cartoon. We used to watch it because we can when we were children. I'm assuming you're not a fan of Tarantino. No, actually, some of Tarantino films are great. Hateful Eight, Kill Bill, Grindhouse, Reservoir Dogs, they're great. But this thing is another, I think, mental disease. And like I used to like work with people like this. They say, haha, it's so cool. They died. Haha. I'm so edgy. Haha, haha. Like there's no story, there's not even any point to the violence. Like I can, for example, like this is great, for example, okay? There used to be this bizarre Simpsons related weirdo animation, a little dark too, called Snopsis Echt, which was this thing. But this thing was like surrealist, and it was weird. You didn't know what was going on. So yeah, I think this is nice, but Happy Tree Friends. What's the other one? I don't understand this millennial obsession with blood and gore. Haha, it's like kind of like this Synopsis Echt was from I think 2009 or something like that. It reminds me of a stop motion channel. I don't know. This is like This is this synopsis echt video. It was like cursed before cursed was a thing, you know. Awesome 3D graphics, very charming. Just a second. Same with, I think, South Park woodland critters. Like there was a joke about these like cute animals in a tree in a forest somewhere, but it turns out they're all sadists and like they have like bloody orgies and stuff like that. They worship Satan. But yeah, I don't like it. Whatever. Radioactive Dragon says, "Hi, hello, my friend. They did gory Simpson stuff, but in a horror style. I think I don't know. Like these days, you see all these projects, like the Kappa World of Turtles project and everything. Like one person can do so much. Even some of the Warhammer fan movies, like there's this amazing Astartes film, for example. Like one person can do them all now. And a lot of these like transgressive things were like bloody animations or whatever. They were like ways for people to show off their skills, but for some reason they could not or would not include a good story. Master Spy says, "Did you watch any anime?" I did actually. I have this. Wait. I have an account on my anime list. How do you think I survived the COVID lockdowns, huh? Yeah, so you can go to my anime list slash whatever, CM Kozeman, and read all about my favorite anime there. Tazimbor says, "You're awesome. Thank you. I hope your physical books sell a lot. Thank you so much. Knock on wood." The Astartes show is now collaborating officially with Games Workshop. Okay. How do you feel about horror as a genre? Says Baby Boat Fly. That's a nice question. I think these days horror is like there's a creepy place and there's a creepy thing which looks creepy and is creepy, and I think like it kills normal looking normie people or boring people, and that's cool somehow. I think good horror, I don't know, like Event Horizon was a really cool and fucking scary one. The original Scream and the original Halloween movies were great. There was also a Halloween 3, which had like these strange stories that didn't have anything to do with the main character. I actually we should have a stream where I only talk about my favorite horror stuff. Like I mean, this is a great horror director, for example. Suspiria. Daria Argento's movies. So Suspiria is set in a strange ballet school, And they actually filmed this in Technicolor. So the like highly saturated version of color film, which was used in like Snow White and like 1950s movies. And then in this ballet school, something starts to go weird. And there's this really like the protagonist lady is also really like beautiful and pretty too. And there's no like deeper story, or it's just this, they use the premise as an excuse to build this bizarre world with its own aesthetics, and like the color and the set design is just incredible in this thing. So this is what the sets look like. Suspiria. It's not a Turkish movie. It's a the director is Italian. Dario Argento. His daughter was Asia Argento, who drove Anthony Bourdain to suicide. So there's some deep lore for you. But there's this like bizarre neon hallucination world in this movie. I really love it so much. I mean, just look at the sets. This is from 1977, by the way. Just look at the sets. It's incredible. Baby Boatfly says, I appreciate movies where they try to build a world within themselves, like Fantastic Planet. Yes, yes. Another great movie is The Wicker Man, by the way, the 1973 film. So it's about an island where they secretly have a pagan religion, and, well, a policeman goes there to investigate and meets all these bizarre rituals and gets sacrificed in the end. But there's so much more to this than just the bloody scenes. I mean, they build this bizarre world like, um, for example, they go to a bakery and they have these like strange doll-shaped loaves of bread. It's like uh, they have a lot of like folk religion slash pagan, but they're not like, they don't poke your eye with it. I think that's a big thing which is wrong. It's a big problem with contemporary filmmakers, is that everything is so in your face. So like the policeman spends two-thirds of the movie in this strange island talking to people. He goes to the bakery and they have these things, and then at the end he reveals this ritual and he gets sacrificed in it. They remade this movie, and I think Midsommar was like a conceited and stupid Gen Z version of this movie too. I really dislike Midsommar so much. Really dislike it. I hate its sensibility. I hate how self-aware it is. Said says, what is your favorite aesthetic in movies? I think my favorite aesthetic is when there's no art director, but there are a lot of talented set designers and like crafts people, and then the aesthetic just forms by itself. In the present day, really, people use Pinterest for everything, like in the creative process, or these days, even AI. So everything has this generic appearance. I mean, compare this with like Midsommar. Ay, ay, ay, look at this. They're so clean. It's like the fucking Burning Man. Yes, there's the maypole in the background. It's so slick. I really, really dislike this film. Now, like, look at this too. Compare this with like all the scenes I've shown you from Suspiria or The Wicker Man. This is so slick. Look at this. There's like a pile of wood in the corner. No, no dust. The wallpapers. Why do you have this wallpaper? If you do, why is it cut off at the floor level? Why are these figures repeating? Look at this. They had to make it by computer and literally cover the walls so all the elements keep repeating. But like, what's even the point then? And all the characters are college educated people. They act like college educated people. Their motivations are like college educated city people. Baby Botfly says Sharktopus is high class. Only a gentleman. I agree, fully agree. Like Shark Topus movies are better than Midsommar. Have we seen The Sinners? I haven't seen it. I've only heard good things about it. Says Botfly. I haven't seen it. I'll show you the remake of for example, the Suspiria film had a remake too, featuring. Uh, uh, uh, okay, wait. Now compare what I showed you to this, okay? This is the 2018 Suspiria. It's like a Vogue glamour photo shoot. It is so contrived. It's very self-indulgent. There's a Mary Sue kind of character. Like these are all like the characters once again all act like college educated, fancy, rich, upper middle class people. But I'll just switch to the actress from 1977, okay? Compare these like fucking poser losers, okay? Compare these people in the 2019 remake of Suspiria to the lead actress here. Wait, I'm just trying to find a nice picture. Okay. Wait. Huh. So this is the 1977 Suspiria. Now compare this with this. Look at them. Like they have like all these plates, there's nothing in them. The glasses are water. They look so fake ass. The woman has perfect hair, perfect skin, 10 layers of makeup, neatly pressed shirt. This lady from the original film, like she really looks scared and disturbed. Her hair isn't perfect. She has creases on her face. Yet she's, I think, prettier because she's more real. The original looks much better, says Botfly. Somebody's talking about Evangelion stuff, but I don't know. Rashid, as a Norwegian that is not Swedish in the least, it's all furniture stores around delectable meat spears there. That's, I think, Norwegian's commentary on Sweden. Oh, some people are talking about my Evangelion videos. I don't know what the conversation is about. Like Dario Argento also has like, he has these incredible movies. Like, I think it was in. He has a movie called Bird with the Crystal Plumage. It's like a weird set of murders set in Italy. Let me just. Look, it's like this bizarre murders in an art gallery, and all the statues are all like weird and cursed. And I love these 70s movies, and they're actually called Giallo films. That's Giallo. And they're like a whole world of unique experiences. Some of them are kitsch camp, but okay. A guy no believes that God is the concept of good itself. The pursuit of is good. What brings good, says Solar Hypercane. Okay, God is good. But then you can say what's good for someone is not so good for everybody else. If there was a sequel to All Tomorrows, would it be called All Todays or All Yesterdays? No, I would call it something completely different. Like, I don't know, Final Inoculation or something like that. I love these sculptures, says Gnome's Child. Yeah, they're cool. There was also this movie called The Eyes of Laura Mars, which was like it was a more straightforward murder mystery. The director was, I think, an American, Irvin Kershner. It's a bit more, yeah, it's like an American version to do. It's an American version of these crazy giallo films, but this is what that movie looks like. This is what that movie looks like. The Eyes of Laura Mars. But there's like a lot of like camp, quasi lesbian, like psychological tension in this film. It's a nice one. There's a fashion shoot, and I think there's murders in it. Plus, there's a photographer lady, and yeah. I think this is a safe place, when you talk about perfection in these movies. The perfection could be a safe place for people like watching Hollywood movies, says Said. I don't know quite what you mean. Like maybe the lack of perfection? I don't know. What do you think about the 3L Atlas rumors? So yeah, 3L Atlas is this like comet or object which entered the solar system, and scientists are saying it could be artificial or intelligently guided. Who knows? I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of these objects which we're just beginning to be able to observe them. They say it's maneuvering, but I really don't know. I really don't know much. But there was another similar one called Oumuamua a couple of months ago, and now there's this thing. So maybe stuff like this happens all the time, and we're just beginning to observe it. Maybe space is full of these like random rocks. Who knows? Or maybe they come from like the Oort cloud or like very the furthest exterior part of the solar system, but I don't know. People are suspecting it is braking, like braking as in like slowing down on purpose. I mean, stranger things have happened. Who knows? Comet or alien spaceship. There's this website called Lad Bible that seems to be doing a brisk run, fluffing these alien spaceship news. So here's one from August. Stephen Hawking's terrifying UFO warning resurfaces as hostile alien threat identified by Harvard scientists when they first identified 3L Atlas. And then scientist warns of black swan event as mystery alien spaceship could change course for Earth today. I don't know. Look, it looks like maybe there are these things They could be some sort of like comet shaped life form. I don't know. They could be spaceships. I don't know. I think they happen all the time, and we're just now beginning to observe them. Maybe it's a natural progress. Maybe it's a natural process. Imagine there's like a comet with gas bubbles in it. As it gets closer to the sun, the bubbles might erupt, and it might cause it to change direction. Who knows? I don't think I don't think it's Independence Day. But remember, in the beginning of the stream, we talked about World War III. Maybe this is a new threat they want to unify Earth against. So something like this, they could exaggerate it like they did with COVID as a means to rally the world. Who knows? All right, everybody. I'm officially very sleepy. Some dare even say that for Project Bluebeam, says Phepasaurus. Okay, let's look it up. Serge Monast. They will fake aliens, this theory says, to destroy Abrahamic religions and facilitate a totalitarian world government. I don't know. Why would they need to get rid of Christianity for that? Yeah, that's something I don't understand. If somebody wanted to establish a totalitarian government, they would rather use religion than destroy it. Let's look at the Serge Monast guy. He's crazy, actually. Yeah, this is all with like concentration camps in America, blah blah blah. I mean, let's read this, huh? This is our guy. Can you see it, by the way? Confirm you can see it, so I'm not talking to a black screen again. I'm waiting for confirmation. Can you see this shit? Okay, you can. Good. All right. Okay. He is known mostly for his promotion of the project Bluebeam conspiracy theory. Okay, let's zoom in. Huh. Okay. Project Bluebeam conspiracy theory, which posits a plot to facilitate a totalitarian world government by destroying Abrahamic religions and replacing them with a new age belief system using futuristic NASA technology involving a fake alien invasion. Interesting. In the early 1990s, he started writing about the New World Order. NASA, with the United Nations, was attempting to implement the New Age religion with the Antichrist, that it said, or via a technologically simulated second coming of Christ. He's a really confused guy. Apparently, there's a Masonic group called 666, which was gathering the world's most powerful people to establish a new world order and control the minds of individuals. Okay. I think we've had enough of this guy, huh? Ingram says, sounds like a New Age conspiracy to garner Christian persecution complex. Yes, I agree. Master Spy says, please make more Evangelion content. Okay. Talk about cool animals, shall we? I'm actually making a new big video, but it's secret. You will see it soon. It's been 2 hours. I feel very sleepy. Gonna have an early night. It's like 12:30 anyways. So I'm going to bed, but thank you all for watching and listening. And if you're in the replay gang, thank you too. I know many of you interact with me parasocially. You listen to me talk. And if you're watching this on the replay, let me know the context in which you're watching me. So, if you're working or studying, that would be nice. So let's say good night, everybody. Good night, and I'll read them all. Good night, Kurominami. Good night, Said. Good night, Reshit. Good night, Elma, who is doing geometry. Samurai Mac, always happy to hear you. Yap, yap, yap. Thank you. Good night, Epoche 000. There's new people every time I have a stream. Good night, Fepasaurus. Good night, Gnome's Child. Best of luck on your sculpture. Good night, Red Rum. Sleep well. Ah, it was a great stream. Thank you all for your time. And as always, have a lovely night. Happy Republic Day to all Turkish friends and followers. Bye for now. Boom.